Did the threat of Cold War nukes bring us closer to annihilation or help maintain global peace? Explore the chilling impact of these weapons in an era of uncertainty. Number 1. The Potsdam Whispers. Picture this, folks. It's July 24th, 1945, and we find ourselves in Potsdam, Germany. American President Harry Truman and the man of steel himself, Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, are sharing a secret. What could it be, you ask? Well, Truman, with a mischievous grin, starts whispering about a new destructive weapon. Stalin, on the outside, seems cool as a cucumber, but you can bet he's seething on the inside. It's like a poker game with nukes. Once allies against the Axis powers, the United States and the Soviet Union now find themselves in an uber-tense situation. The Cold War has officially begun. This ain't your grandma's war, folks. It's a standoff of colossal proportions. These two former pals have become the world's most unlikely frenemies. The geopolitical landscape is forever altered as the whispers in Potsdam set the stage for the world's most intense and enduring standoff. The Cold War isn't just about politics. It's a drama filled with secrets, bluffs, and a constant game of one-upmanship. So Truman's Potsdam Whisper is like a bombshell that's about to explode, but we'll get to that later. For now, let's move on to our next chapter in this incredible story. Number 2, the changing balance of power. Now, let's talk about how the balance of power shifted in the post-World War II world. The US and the Soviet Union emerge as the two big kahunas on the block. But wait, we've got a twist. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill has some rather saucy plans up his sleeve, both offensive and defensive, in case the Soviets get a little too frisky. It's like the world's biggest game of chess, and every move counts. Churchill, with his famous wit and a cigar that's practically an accessory, understands that the global power dynamic is in flux. He sees the need to balance the scales, and he's not one to sit idly by. His plans aren't just theoretical. They involve real military and political strategies and a dash of espionage. It's a real-life geopolitical chess match where every piece is a nation, and the stakes are as high as they come. As Churchill and his allies plan their moves, the world watches with bated breath. The map of the world is redrawn as the United States and the Soviet Union take center stage, each determined to spread their influence and ideology. The stage is set, and the audience is holding its collective breath, waiting to see how this global drama will unfold. But hold on to your popcorn, folks, because the plot thickens. We're about to uncover Truman's atomic bluff, and that's a whole different level of Cold War intrigue. Number 3, the American atomic bluff. All right, here's where it gets extra juicy. Truman decides to pull off what can only be described as the giant atomic bluff. He concocts Plan Totality to deter those crafty Soviets. What's his secret sauce, you ask? Well, the US starts leaking information about a non-existent atomic arsenal. Talk about playing with fire. But here's the kicker. Both the US and the UK are also cooking up real plans for an atomic attack. I told you it was a high-stakes poker game. Truman, ever the poker-faced strategist, realizes that possessing the atomic bomb gives the United States a significant edge. However, he also understands that revealing this power too soon could tip the scales dangerously. So, he decides to bluff. The US starts dropping hints, feeding the Soviets and the world with tantalizing tidbits about their supposed atomic arsenal. The beauty of Truman's plan is that it keeps the Soviets guessing. They're caught between fear and doubt, wondering if the American atomic arsenal is real. In the meantime, the US and the UK are not just sitting on their hands, they're actively planning for the possibility of using their atomic weapons. It's a risky and high-stakes game of brinksmanship that's testing the limits of human deception. The world watches in suspense as the superpowers dance around the atomic issue. It's a Cold War ballet, and one wrong move could set off a chain reaction that nobody wants. But as the saying goes, fortune favors the bold, and Truman's bold bluff sets the stage for the next twist in our story, the Soviet Catchup. Number 4, the Soviet Catchup. Now, you've got to give credit where it's due. Stalin isn't one to back down from a challenge. After Truman's little revelation, he goes full throttle on the Soviet atomic bomb project. They've got Soviet scientists, spies, and a pinch of German expertise to help bridge the gap. And guess what? They succeed. The Soviets test their very first atomic bomb, breaking the US monopoly. Talk about a plot twist. As the Soviet Union races to catch up with the United States, a sense of urgency pervades their efforts. They're not just playing catch-up, they're sprinting to the finish line. Stalin knows that possessing the atomic bomb is a game-changer, and he's not about to let the Americans have all the fun. It's a bit like a Cold War version of the space race, with atomic secrets replacing moon rocks. The Soviet Union's success in testing their atomic bomb is a momentous occasion. It signals a shift in the balance of power once again. Now, the United States and the Soviet Union are on more equal footing, and the stakes have never been higher. The world watches as the superpowers flex their nuclear muscles, and the threat of nuclear annihilation looms large on the horizon. The Cold War has officially entered a new phase, one characterized by the terrifying reality of mutually assured destruction. The term "mad" takes center stage, and our story is about to take another twist as the world grapples with the consequences of this deadly dance. Number 5. The Mad Dilemma. So, what happens when both superpowers have nukes and the world is on the brink of chaos? Enter Curtis LeMay, who's practically itching for a preemptive strike. It's like a real-life action movie, but this ain't Hollywood, folks. This is reality. Curtis LeMay is a character straight out of a Cold War thriller. He's got the kind of personality that says, if you've got a big stick, why not swing it? LeMay's hawkish stance on using the atomic bomb is a source of tension and debate within the United States military and government. The world watches as this high-ranking military figure becomes a symbol of the potential for a devastating first strike. But hold on, there's a plot twist within the plot twist. The concept of mutually assured destruction, or MAD for short, emerges as a deterrent. It's like a Mexican standoff where nobody wants to be the first to pull the trigger. The idea is simple yet profound. If one superpower launches a nuclear attack, the other will respond in kind, resulting in the destruction of both. It's a grim and surreal form of diplomacy, but it keeps the world from the brink. The world narrowly avoids a catastrophic war thanks to this deadly game of chicken. It's as if humanity collectively realizes the absurdity of mutually assured destruction, and that realization, in turn, acts as a lifeline for peace. The Cold War, while far from over, takes on a new and somewhat stable form as both sides acknowledge the need to avoid pushing the button. Well, there you have it. The jaw-dropping tale of how the Cold War nukes changed everything. From secret whispers to atomic bluffs and the edge-of-your-seat mad dilemma. It's a story that reminds us that sometimes, even in the darkest moments of history, humanity manages to take a step back from the brink. So, if you enjoyed this rollercoaster ride through history, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-bending stories, and ring that notification bell to keep up with our quirky adventures. And remember, history isn't just about dates and facts. It's a tale of twists, turns, and human quirks. Until next time, stay curious, stay quirky, and keep embracing the weirdness of our world.